Hello guys, and yet another DIY video for you. This time we're gonna repair BMW 3 Series E90 or E91 or E92 professional radio. And as you see, we did receive the radio from the customer, and we can test the current state of the display by holding the M button right after powering the radio, and we hold it around 8 seconds until you see the diagnostic mode like serial number and so on, and then you press the right button 7 times or 8 times until you see the display test, and then you can run the test. You can see the condition. So we're gonna disassemble the radio. You're gonna need Phillips screwdriver, and you're gonna need desoldering gun or solder suction, and obviously the soldering iron as well. There are 3 bolts on the top, and there are 2 bolts on the sides holding the front panel, but one of the bolt on the left side, which is holding the front panel, is covered by the heatsink. You can see on the video the black heatsink, which is also covered by this like metal bracket. So you remove the metal bracket by unscrewing 2 screws, and now you'll have access to the heatsink. It's gonna be held by 5 screws in total. Sometimes those screws are pretty tight, so make sure you're using good quality Phillips screwdriver, because it's somewhat easy to strip the screw. It's gonna be then pain to remove it. So take your time, use the good quality screwdriver to unscrew those. When I do unscrew them, I usually do leave them in place. I do not remove them, because it's gonna be easier later on to install it back on. So now, after I remove this heatsink, you can see there is 1 bolt left that covers that holds the front panel. And as you can see, I forgot to unscrew one of the screws on the front. Alright. Now be careful. Very gently open the front faceplate, and you can see there is the ribbon cable actually connecting the front faceplate. You need to open this lever, like the brown lever, as I did now with this little screwdriver. You can do it gently with the finger as well. And now you can remove this ribbon cable and put the main unit on the side, because you're going to be working just with a front panel. Disconnect this little ribbon cable for the right dial, and you can remove it. And by the way, pretty much all the screws you're gonna be unscrewing in this DIY are the same, except 2 of them that are holding the metal bracket. So it's fairly easy to put them back in place, because you not gonna be messing around with different sizes. All of them are the same. So now I am releasing these connectors which are holding the ribbon cable of the LCD display. Be gentle, it's very easy to damage those. You can use it, you can use your finger, or you can use like a little screwdriver. Just don't press too hard, you may break it easily. And now I removed the solder which holds the bracket of the front from display support. Sometimes there are four solder kind of blobs holding this bracket. In my case, it were only two of them. So it's, as you can see, it's fairly easy to remove the front bracket with the display. And now I'm simply gonna replace the display with a new one. We are using same OEM displays, so it's not aftermarket display, it's actually original display we use in our services. And we're gonna put the link in the description below, link for the replacement part if you would like to try to do it yourself, or the link for the repair service that we do provide, as you can see on the video, if you would like to ship your radio to us so we can replace the screen for you. I did remove the protective tape from both sides of the screen, and now I'm putting everything back together. Be gentle, display is very fragile, so don't push too hard, you can crack the glass. Now I'm gonna lock those four little locks, and I'm gonna need to solder two of them like they were before, and gently insert the ribbon cable into this like sockets, connectors. Make sure to do it straight all the way, and do not forget to lock the connector. Again, nothing crazy, don't push too hard, just be very gentle. Yeah, usually those rubber pieces stays on the circuit board, so you just put them in place back in the front panel. A little flux so the solder flows better. And by the way, this circuit board, especially this particular place, works as a big heatsink. So if you got a weak soldering iron, it's kind of hard to melt it, to melt the solder. I am using like professional Hakko soldering station, and it's fairly easy for it to do the job. But if you're using like some cheap Chinese uh, soldering irons which are not powerful enough, it's gonna be hard to melt this solder in this particular point. Okay, now don't forget to put the little ribbon cable in place from the right dial. Two bolts holding the circuit board inside the front faceplate. And now again, very gentle, put the main ribbon cable that connects the whole front faceplate to the main unit. Make sure it goes straight, and you lock the connector. And now please pay attention how you're gonna lay the ribbon cable in place. So don't close it yet, and don't close it yet completely. You will need to kind of guide this ribbon cable back in the main unit so it doesn't bend too much. Three tabs in the bottom, three screws on the top, and once again all those screws are the same size, so you can use any of them. Okay. And one more screw left on the left side, and be careful there is sometimes a lot of thermal paste, so you can easily make your hands dirty. And sometimes we did receive the items with almost no thermal paste. If this is the case, just add some more fresh thermal paste before you put the heatsink. But in that case, as you see on the video, I did have quite a lot thermal paste left. It was still kind of liquid. It wasn't dry, so I could reuse it. Sometimes this thermal paste is too dry to be reused, and then you need to clean it and to put some fresh thermal paste. Five bolts holding the heatsink. And that was the moment when my other camera kind of died. So yeah, that's the only camera left to finish the video. But anyway, it's going to the end. So the last part is this let me take the words back. It's not the last part. There are only two dials left to put besides this bracket, but other than that the repair is almost finished. It's time for the test, and please note there are two types of situations when, like, what happens with those radios. One is when some of the pixels are missing, like pixelation on the screen, like was shown in the beginning of this video, and the other issue is when the whole screen is completely dark, so even backlight doesn't come on. And the first issue could be fixed with the replacement of the display. The second issue, as far as I know, cannot be fixed, and you're gonna need to replace the whole radio unit. So if you got a just completely dark screen without any pixels, like the dead radio, don't try to install the new screen. So this is the end. Hope you did like the video. Come back for new videos to come, and thank you very much.